Hi, I'm Morgan Ingram. This is Emily Knapp, Lauren Lynn McLeod, Elizabeth Ragland, Lauren Kelly, Brooke Gerber, and Brooke Drinkard. The title of our research study was Who Do You Trust? The Source of Visual Social Media and Its Effect on Perceived Credibility. We are interested in this topic not only because we're all interested in visual social media, but also because visual social media is relatively new in the entire realm of social media, and there really hasn't been much research done on it yet. The purpose of our study was to research the potential we have as PR practitioners to influence consumers by way of visual social media. We chose to focus this on the travel and tourism industry.
Our research question basically went around perceived credibility of consumers based on a destination dependent on the source of a photo sharing website, either user-generated or professionally developed content. In previous research that we looked at prior to doing our study, we found cultural and historical links between pictures and photography and travel, as well as PR campaigns, and also destination marketing organizations and their links to social media. So we decided to put those two themes together to create our research on photo sharing websites.
And for our study, we used an experimental design, pen and paper, with a post-test only control group design. We had 3 cells. There was a control group and 2 treatment cells, which we named the personal image and professional image. And in those treatment groups, they were exposed to the stimuli, and our stimuli was a Flickr photo sharing account, a snapshot of a page with a photo from an obscure travel destination. Both treatment groups viewed the same photo, and the source of our photo was the manipulated independent variable. So the photo was either attributed to a professional visitors bureau or a user-generated account, which was just a general traveler. Our dependent variable was perceived credibility, and we used Berlow's credibility scale, which contained 15 items to measure this. And we tested our research question under the relationship management theory, and we used Brunig and Lettingham's multidimensional scale that measures organization-public relationships. And that scale covered 3 dimensions: the professional relationship, personal relationship, and the community relationship. And now Elizabeth will explain to us in detail about our sampling method and our participants.
Our participant sample included 188 college students at the University of Georgia, ranging in age from 18 to 24. The average age was 20.59. Of our participants, we had 30.32% that were male, 69.15% that were female. In the end, we had 57 participants complete the control cell, 65 participants complete the professional cell, and 66 participants complete the personal cell. We chose to go with convenient sampling because we felt that college students are the ones that are most exposed and embedded in social media. Pew Research Center Internet and American Life Project found that 33% of Twitter users are in the age range of 18 to 29, which further supported our decision to use a convenient sample of college students here at UGA. However, though, we did face some limitations with our sample selection, and Brooke will talk about that later in our presentation.
With our research question, we wanted to determine if there's a difference in the reputation of a destination when somebody sees it with the professional account or the personal account. And so what we did first was test the reliability of each of our 3 scales. And each scale did exceed the threshold of Cronbach's alpha 0.7. And though each scale was reliable, the credibility scale did not explain 60% of variance. And so that led us to have 3 unidimensional scales. Next, we did the manipulation check to check the statistical significance of our manipulated variable, which was the source. And to do this, we had a question on our post-test, which asked the participant if the image that they viewed was uploaded by a professional commissioned visitors bureau or by just a general traveler. And our manipulation check was statistically significant. The chi-square was less than 0.001. And finally, the ANOVA of the participants' responses to the user-generated and professionally generated accounts also yielded a statistical significant difference with the credibility scale. And this this gave us a p-value of 0.04. The mean difference of this was 4.51, which showed that those who viewed the professionally generated account reported a higher credibility than those who viewed the user-generated account. And we also did an ANOVA to test the participants' responses to the different images that they saw, and this was also statistically significant, the relationship management scale. So the ANOVA of both the credibility scale and relationship management scale had a p-value less than 0.05. And those who viewed the professionally generated account and the relationship management scale deemed a higher rate than those who viewed the user-generated account.
So overall, our results showed that, in fact, the source of visual social media does affect the perceived credibility. And it happened to be that the participants felt that the professional content was more credible, and we assume that's because they associated professionalism with high quality, trustworthy content rather than a lesser known, lesser respected source. So that was the good part. Our research question was answered. However, like Elizabeth said earlier, our research did have some limitations. The first limitation had to do with our sampling, which was a convenient sample of college-age students at UGA, which was beneficial to us because they are more likely to be familiar with social media. However, they're much less likely to have the disposable income to take a nice vacation abroad. So there's kind of pros and cons with that. Our second limitation that we found was in relation to the design of our instrument. First, people were not seeing the stimuli as they would in a real life situation because it was printed in black and white rather than in color on a computer screen. So it wasn't exactly the same. And also people were confused as to which cell they were in, and that was made evident to us by several people missing the manipulation check. So that meant to us that it wasn't evident enough on the stimulus which source the information was coming from, whether they were looking at something from the professional or from like just a peer.
And through our research, PR practitioners can rest assured knowing that people put more weight on the professional pictures rather than just the random travelers. And they also know that because their voice is more trusted, they should utilize social media sites like Flickr and other video sharing sites to make sure that their voice is out there among the other people just uploading pictures. And our study can be expounded upon in a couple ways. One, it would be interesting to see how the pictures actually affect people's actions if they book flights or make travel arrangements. And also it would be neat to do a similar experiment with consumer blogs and embedded videos.